So we finally got the car on the lift after last week's teardown, I guess, and when we picked it up. And so we started WD-40ing the entire underneath, all the bolts and everything, because they're essentially rusted shut. And it's going to be a pain and a struggle just to take off most of these bolts under here. So it's not as crazy as we thought as far as rust damage going down. Throughout this whole thing, it's just a lot of just rusted bolts just because it's been sitting and it's just essentially super old. But after looking through a lot of this, there are some, I guess, like rust cancerous spots. So like this area here, we'll probably have to do some fixing, some welding. This is right underneath the floorboard, and you can actually see some of the wires for it of the passenger side. So we'll probably have to fix that as well. I think on the driver's side, there's some damage to it, just a little bit. So we'll have to fix this as well. Along the whole thing, probably not as bad back here, but we'll have to make changes to that. But yeah, it's not terrible. So we'll see what else we have to do. Oh yeah, there's this too. Right about that guy. So I think we're gonna have to buy this whole panel, which I believe they sell, from what Freddie told me. Just have to cut this off and then re-weld a new piece on here. And then kind of look through the rest of it as well to figure out what else parts we need to kind of cut off, re-weld new pieces, or just make new pieces as a whole, just because they're, like I said, they're super brittle. But yeah, not as bad as we thought. But later on we'll be driving out to Arizona to to buy some extra fenders, because one of the ones that we have are kind of beyond saving. So yeah, enjoy that part.
Morning, Arizona. We're about to head out to go get those parts, and yeah, a beautiful morning. It's like 90 degrees, I think.
90 and rising.
Yeah.
So for those that probably don't know, we drove last night all the way up to Arizona. It's like a 6.5 hour drive, just to pick up some parts for the Z. It's not the most fabulous parts, but they're parts that we need, from a very nice person that was willing to sell us some of this stuff. So we kind of wanted to take advantage now before we run out of time later, because typical Zema crunch will probably fuck us over. Later in the game when we actually need stuff and can't find it, then we scramble and rush and have to deal with it.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that we get everything right now, and then that's about it. We need to get on this project because we only got 4 months left, maybe 3.
But at least for the good part, or at least the good news, is that we're accumulating a ton of stuff, and Freddie has been getting stuff over the past couple months before we even actually got the car. So we're kind of just making it happen, working on it. As soon as we pick up these parts, we're gonna make the drive right back to San Diego and start working on the car and start tearing it down even more. So that'll be coming up next. See ya. So we finally got back from Arizona, beautiful Prescott, and what we ended up picking up was the fenders for the Z, because ours are pretty much thrashed, rusted, and like fiberglass all over it, so
Beat up.
just destroyed. So thankfully this wonderful gentleman had these fenders available for us, and then we were able to pick it up, and he actually had some bonus front window trim as well that we were able to buy off of him, which is really nice to have, because we don't have that right now. But yeah, so this saves us time because we don't have to worry about trying to repair the ones that we do have. Maybe eventually, but for now we don't have to. So this is nice. This will definitely speed up the process when we actually start putting it all back together.
Yeah.
So we finished day 2, I guess, the following Sunday after driving back from Arizona. A little bit tired, sorry. So today we were able to get out the transmission. The glove is there just to stop the fluids from dropping. Otherwise it's just going to leak all over the floor and we don't need all that. So got out the transmission out and the rear suspension as well. So all that is just sitting on the side. And then next week, hopefully, we're gonna get the glass out as well as the engine and then the whole front. So at that point we should be good to go for taking everything out and then getting it sandblasted, hopefully soon. As soon as all that is done. Here is the rear transmission that looks kind of like an X-Wing, and it's awesome and hilarious at the same time, for me at least. Rear suspension is right here. The other side is right there. And that's pretty much it. So after all that driving, we still managed to spend some time today and kind of take apart what we can. And yeah, that's it for this day. And hopefully we can get more done next week.